So yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes just becoming. We'll finish that later.
um, and we're live. Welcome to another late night take 3. I realise I'm just really bad at actually putting out a post early to remind people this is actually happening tonight, but it is what it is.
The views should be amazing.
But I've got a great panel here. She's been in hiding in quarantine for a while, but she's come out for this. We've got Kristen. Kristen, how's it going?
Yep. It's awful. Everything's awful. No, we're fine. Everyone's fine here. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing good. It's my birthday in the middle of quarantine, so I'm fine. And we've got Matt to one of these sides. Matt, how's it going? We've also got Abe here. Abe, how's it going?
Hello. It brings me a ton of pleasure to come on this show with my fellow crew members who do not like any politeness.
But it looks like Matt's finished his phone call to the feds. Matt, how's it going?
Sorry, those robocalls. Decide to wait until you're live. Yeah, quarantine's great. I just got an email from my boss that I have to work from home for even longer than I thought I was going to. So that's great. I don't know. I think I'll let my friend just describe how I'm feeling.
Getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night.
It's terrific. Thank you, Arnold. Puppy Iron. Great documentary, guys.
You know,
coming
masturbation is a
to
healthy.
Netflix soon.
And last but not and last but not least, we've got Manning who has to follow that.
You killed Manning.
I just didn't like. I knew it was gonna be Arnold. Last week taught me the thing was gonna be Arnold. I just did not expect.
You've never seen Pumpkin
That.
Iron, then? Which is an amazing documentary minute. It's that one moment.
I have not seen it,
Incredible
but
documentary.
I didn't know you were about to play that. Hey guys, hi, great to be back for a second week in a row. I had to be back on because we're talking about DreamWorks films for the hour or so we won't be here. So I have no jokes. Let's do it.
Quarantine's great. It's made Manning come on this show 2 times in a row.
I know, right? Quarantine special
Compared to fucking... I just love you, Manning.
Thank you. Hey, I'll be on a lot more now. Working from home.
But yeah, this is probably going to be a kind of a interesting show because there really isn't a lot of news that we have to cover. Because I always look sort of every day. There really wasn't a lot of like things moving again and going to VOD, just stuff that we can talk about till the cows come home, but we don't need to really.
Bye bye the cows when you get the milk for free. Am I right?
So we're just going to sort of launch into the main topic of DreamWorks animation. I almost said Disney, but never mind.
I was like, I prepped from the wrong conversation.
What's prepping for what's this prepping for conversations?
Listening to the
Let's
Prince
go
of Egypt
foreplay.
soundtrack on loop at work today.
I'm like a counter every time we just make a crude joke in some capacity. We are at like 5 now. Keep going, guys. You're doing great.
Wait, how was that? Wait, what crude joke did I say?
Not you.
Oh,
Abe just said it.
I just assume it's me at this point.
So I'm going to sort of launch straight into it. So, Kristen, what are some of your favorite DreamWorks animation movies?
Okay, definitely go to the person who said they didn't prepare for the discussion. Yeah. Well, I mean, Prince of Egypt is great. It's probably like one of their best ones, and it's also one of their first ones. And they kind of peaked like right off the bat. That's an unpopular opinion, but it is literally one of the most gorgeous movies in animation. Like it looks fantastic, even after like 20 years. It's been out for a long time. 98. Yeah, it looks fantastic. It has an amazing soundtrack, amazing cast, really cool story, which isn't like an original story, but it's still a cool story. Plus, it's topical because it's Passover. So
Yeah.
there you go. That one's great. I always like rewatching that one. And then I'm saving a franchise for Manning because I know he wants to talk about it. So I'll bring up one I don't think people are going to talk about, and it's Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which is adorable because Wallace and Gromit is such a fun series, and I used to watch them all the time, like when they were just like the cartoons, right? But well, not cartoons, I guess it's stop motion, but they're so much fun, and like the way they like animate the characters is just like slapstick and hilarious. And this movie, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember when it came out, it was just a lot of fun. I mean, sometimes you just need movies that are kind of just fun to sit and watch. And this one kind of hits that mark. I would not mind watching it again if I can find it. Somehow it's not easy to find. But yeah, so I'll bring up those two for now, and then like we can talk about more of them because we've got a while.
Yeah. But yeah, as Stardrew says in the chat, this topic is because of Trolls 2, and like he does mention how surprising it is that it's going to VOD. It's going to VOD and theaters, sort of wherever they can. Theaters are open. It's a kind of a simultaneous thing, which theater chains aren't happy about, from what I believe.
Can I comment something on that?
Sure.
In Mexico, it's actually opening. It's opening until October 9th. It's War 2. Just a fun fact. Continue.
Interesting.
But Matt, what are some of your favorite DreamWorks animation movies?
Yeah, Prince of Egypt is probably my favorite of all time. I tend to, around this time of year, watch around Easter, even though I know it's not really connected to Easter. It's a completely different book. I still tend to watch it around Easter. It's kind of like how they run the Ten Commandments.
It's the Ten Commandments.
We got them 10 Commandments.
The Lord does say the 10 Commandments.
You
I do declare.
bastard, forgot the name of my movie. So I guess I just always connected it to that. Also, when I was a kid in Sunday school, around this time of year, we would have this big like meeting about like the budget and all this stuff. And of course, like the kids wouldn't be in it, and they would always show us Prince of Egypt around this time. They would like roll in one of the TVs with VHS players. So I think that's why it's just a wonderful movie. And some of us last week after the show were talking about it, and the cast, like, it was one of the first animated movies that had a real like full celebrity cast, but you feel like they would have been cast even if they weren't celebrities. Like Val Kilmer just has a perfect like everyman voice for Moses. And Ray Fiennes is so, like, he gets the loving side of Ramesses, but when you get near the end, you get that, like, when he's like, I will not be the chain that breaks it. And Patrick Stewart is amazing as their dad. Jeff Goldblum and Sandra Bullock aren't distracting, even though they have, like, such recognizable voices. It's just such a beautiful movie, and the music is just incredible. When You Believe, it beat I Don't Want to Miss a Thing for Best Original Song, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that because that song, I literally was a couple of weeks ago listening because it's just on my playlist. I was listening to it at work, and I no joke almost started crying at work. And I was like, nope, gotta stop listening to this because it's just an amazing movie that I could talk about forever. And I should probably do a second look episode on because I feel like enough people don't talk about it. But yeah, from around that same time, I want to talk about Ants. This is I don't need to get into did Katzenberg steal this or did Pixar? Who cares? I like Bugs Life better, but I still like Ants. I think it's an interesting movie. I think the voice cast is really good and everyone kind of fits. Like Woody Allen as a neurotic. I mean, that's how can you get better casting than that? Except for Sylvester Stallone as a soldier. You know, hey, I do a kids movie. It's awesome. And yes, when I was a kid, I was like, that's Rocky. That's Rocky, but he's an ant. This is so freaking cool. And maybe for a little bit, I liked Bugs Life more. Ants more than Bugs Life because of that. And Gene Hackman is also really great as the villain because it's Gene freaking Hackman. But when it comes to DreamWorks, Shrek, the first three, I was kind of my childhood. The first movie we ever had on DVD was Shrek. So like we watched that movie countless and countless times. And when I was a weird kid, if you couldn't tell, seeing the adult I grew up in, I used to walk around and like pretend to be Shrek. And like when I would burp, I would go, better out than in Shreko, he says. I would do that. I would just I quoted these things that just like had no like understanding the conversations. I'd just be like, hey, I'm a delivery ogre. Like I would just like I was a fucking loser. No wonder why I had no friends when I was a kid. But yeah, those movies and like Shrek 2, just like the older I get, the funnier that movie is. Like when they're sitting at the bar and Puss in Boots, he's drinking the milk, he's just like, I hate Mondays. Also, like Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, they literally just asked him to do what he did in Zorro, except as a cat. And it's incredible. And also, one of the greatest action sequences, maybe in anime movies ever, is I Need a Hero from Shrek 2. Like, that song is already great, but just with those visuals, and she was married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Yeah, that movie, I love those movies. And I mean, okay, look, I'm going to be the one to do it. I'm going to steal Manning's. Obviously,
Thanks.
The best.
Thanks, Matt.
It's the Trolls movies. Obviously, we all know that's what.
Oh.
Okay. Obviously. No, I've actually never seen Trolls. The most I've seen of Trolls is Nostalgia Critic reviewed Trolls this week. This is the first time I've ever seen anything beyond the trailers. And when that song played, I was like, holy shit, yeah, that's where this song came from. Huh. I'll be damned. All right.
But Manning, you can talk about them now.
First off, I'd like to say, ladies and gentlemen, Matt did what we call a tease right there, and now I'm about to give you the full show.
That's what she said.
Exactly. That was intentional right there. 7! 7! That's 8. That's 8! I can't count. I can't count.
What's in the box?
Obviously, 8. Okay, so at this time, I'm beating people over the head, or I guess the more correct expression is beating a dead horse at this point. The How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is I guess at this point now, it's the only trilogy besides Kung Fu Panda, which by it in itself, Kung Fu Panda, okay, well, Madagascar is probably as well. Madagascar. Do we count Penguins of Madagascar?
No.
I never saw it, but Penguins in Madagascar, the show is amazing. People, everyone should go and watch it.
Not that one, but the movie. If that's a spinoff, then by that definition, I personally think How to Train Your Dragon is the most consistent and is the overall best and probably might be the most mature of the DreamWorks features. For those of you who know what it means to me, it is Shrek is mature in a different way. The humor in it is a lot more adult, but the mature themes of How to Train Your Dragon, in comparison to some of the other DreamWorks films out there, it's a lot more crude. You look at that first Shrek. There are some things that go over a little kid's head right there.
Yep, and little Matt was quoting them to his elementary school teacher.
Oh, I wish I've
I'll
seen
be like,
oh.
Your teacher
dear.
says something, and you're just like, you do that. Oh gosh, what's the line where he's like, you think he's compensating for something?
I probably said that line.
That
actually,
sounds like something really funny to say to a
That
teacher.
and How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey were movies that I just like quoted the entire films of growing up.
know.
So I more than likely in elementary school
Said it and didn't mean
said
know
to a
what it did.
kid, he's probably compensating for something. Huh?
Hey! Jokes.
Do we just
Regardless.
quote Shrek for the rest
Wait,
of this?
no, not until my turn and Abe's.
Gosh.
No, guys, stop. Okay, but jokes aside, How to Train Your Dragon, besides its star-studded cast, is visually probably one of the most gorgeous films, thanks to Father Deakins, blessed be his name, being a visual consultant on there. Yes, thank you, Abe. Thank you. That those movies have this amount of weight to them, especially the first one. There's just something about it that's just kind of so tightly strung. They knew what story they were telling, especially when Dean DeBlois and Dean Dubois and Chris Sanders came in like 9 months before the movie was coming out, and they repurposed a whole bunch of stuff. That movie is airtight. The rest two, not so much. They have some inconsistencies, personally, I believe, as films, but that doesn't diminish the fact of the quality that they possess. They, in and of themselves, tackle some really weighty themes of loss and growing up, and just the idea of what it means to be a friend, be a man, be a child, just to that transition period. It is a beautiful coming of age drama. And I'm now just repeating my essay that I did. It is something that if you have not seen it all the way through, it is, I personally believe, The Prince of Egypt is like a close second, but How to Train Your Dragon might be the best. Well, it might, and also my favorite. It might be the best that DreamWorks has thrown out there. Plus, Jay Baruchel is just perfect. Plus, also, go watch that series it's on Netflix. It's also really, really good if you like the series. I go recommend it.
Yeah, and you can see.
Butler's in it. You didn't talk about him.
I missed that completely. What did you say? I missed that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Butler's
what?
in it. You talking about him?
Oh, I said the
fucking
star-studded
thirsty.
cast.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's in all three. He is there.
Baruchel.
He's okay. No, I will
Okay.
say that their dynamic is fantastic. The timidity in his voice and just the actual Baruchelness, I'm going to use that as an adjective, the Baruchelness of Jay Baruchel's voice. And it's like, great, Dad. I want to be a Viking.
It doesn't match that they're father and son, because you got like
It doesn't.
You got like Gerard Butler's like, come over here, I'm fucking thirsty, and he's just like, oh, Dad, I want to train the dragons. It's like, you're gonna fucking kill him and like him.
You're going to mount his head on the wall right there.
Man, they should
Oh,
really
Dad.
they really need to redo that first movie, but R-rated, so Gerard Butler can really be like what he is, so he can be like,
Swears, every other
just
word.
fucking shoot him, I don't fucking care, kill him.
Isn't that basically just Game of Thrones?
I was about to say, How to Train Your Dragon.
I might start watching Game of Thrones then.
I mean, if you want to be disappointed, watch it all the way through.
He's not in it. That's good.
But Abe, what are some of your favorite DreamWorks animation movies?
You know, I can talk about my favorites, but people will comment on them. I can say that Shrek 2 has the greatest animated sequence of all time in I Need a Hero, as Matt said. I think
sounds
it's
familiar.
arguably the best. It's just it's the best climax of any film I've seen in my life, and I'll say it again and again. No climax makes me more excited than just those notes. Who sings the song in the movie?
Fairy Godmother sings it.
Yeah,
Jennifer Saunders.
Oh man, the emotion in that scene
Yeah.
when Big Gingerbread Man he goes down the water
Oh.
and Gigi's just like, no, he's like,
It composes every single whatever you need for a great action sequence. You know, there's a sacrifice, somebody dies, but doesn't really dies in well, doesn't die, but sacrifice himself. That maybe the old in Puss in Boots. There's a kiss at the end. You know, it's a great. But
You know what? No. We laugh, but he's legitimately
No, he
true.
is. It's
It must be
I
one of the
agree.
greatest climaxes in film.
I'm telling you, this is true. I actually believe this. I'm not kidding you.
Holy
I
shit.
actually believe this. I analyzed that scene through the years. You know, it's hard to argue with 7. You know, I have to say that 7 class fucking great. You know, before I start talking about more movies, I just want to show you
Hey,
part of my
BT
collection.
Dubs, can we? I might need to re-edit the ending of 7 now, but have Shrek's "I Need a Hero" playing. Wasn't the best.
Oh, where'd you get that?
So I have this.
Oh, you're so cute.
Aw. Oh yeah, Toothless is
Oh
adorable.
man, I love
Toothless.
Toothless. I know it's named.
Toothless is so cute.
And
But I have this movie.
Girl
that-
Dragon.
never got a name. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
I never
Girl
saw that
Dragon
one.
is just White Night Fury.
I was about to say
Wow.
she's the light
Okay,
fury.
time out. Can I just time out here? So they didn't name the white character.
The light character.
Racism.
Light.
Much.
Light.
I think
Light.
it's more probably sexism.
Yeah.
It's racist.
I mean, if
and
we're gonna
sexist.
call it what it is,
Yeah.
like the only
All right,
like
guys.
really clearly
Viewers,
female
you know
dragon
what to
that they
do.
show.
Guys, you know what to do. You gotta cancel DreamWorks. Okay.
Yeah, cancel it.
Katzenberg,
Can I finish?
Spielberg,
No. Okay.
whoever the G is,
Can I
gotta cancel you. Who's the G,
Yes,
by the
I-
way? Who's the ever founder?
Mm.
The
Because
OG?
Spielberg, Katzenberg. Okay, because you know in the DreamWorks logo there's the SKG. That's for the
Oh.
founders, and it's Katzenberg, Spielberg, and someone
Ooh.
else who's not as
Garcia.
successful. Who?
Is it?
Garcia.
Garcia? Is there some of them?
Are you making
Yeah.
that up, Abe?
Do they have last names on your planet?
Gutierrez.
but
Gonzalez. Can I finish talking? Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, you may.
Okay. You gotta go with praise of well, Shrek is, Madagascar trilogy. I have to say, those movies get better and better as they grow. Because as a kid, I remember laughing my ass off on Madagascar, and I have to say, I don't have the reference that you have because I'm watching the Spanish, so it's kind of different for me those movies, and it's hard for me to watch them in English because it's not that I don't understand it, but because it doesn't feel right to listen to Chris Rock and David
Ben Stiller.
Schwimmer
Ah.
and which is amazing. The Baron Cohen. And that Madagascar film, the first one, as a kid, I rewatched it many times, and I still remember laughing. I love the penguins. The penguins are fantastic. I think they're one of the best foils, so you usually have their sub in all the movies, and they bring the biggest laughs in those movies. Madagascar 2, I have to say, I just rewatched it recently because I had it. Well, I probably had watched it, but I didn't remember much of it. And that movie is just better. It's a really good movie. I don't think it's in the first one, but there's this really funny scene where they hire these monkeys and they having a discussion about they creating a
They're
labor
great.
union.
They're great. Asha.
Okay, and I have to say the third one, which is my fourth favorite DreamWorks animation movie, which is I think the third one is just incredible. And I have to say it again. That climax, not the climax, the sequence of fireworks to Katy Perry, is just an incredible, a visually stunning sequence that I rewatched many times because that sequence made me cry. I have to say that's probably I didn't get the girl that night because we were with a friend, we took out, and I was tearing up a little bit at that sequence. We were meeting, we were friends, we knew what we were doing that night. I had 15 years old.
I had 15 years old.
Yeah,
You
I was
have
crying.
statutory rape,
I'm-
possibly, buddy.
I
okay.
had, no, she had.
That was his
I have-
age, Matthew.
Oh, okay.
but anyway, but
Lovely.
like myself, I mean, all the ones that people mentioned, I actually really like the Shrek franchise. I like all the movies, and I think Madagascar is great. And I agree, Wallace and Gromit is one that does not get talked about a lot, but I do think that's because a lot of people just forget that it's Dreamworks. They just go, "Oh, it's admin animation."
Yeah,
and
but it's so good.
How could I forget? Chicken Run.
Yep, I was about to mention
Chicken
that.
Run is
Chicken
also
Run?
really good.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Malcolm. I apologize. Continue your point, and then I'll talk about Chicken Run.
And Chicken Run, I think is great.
Great segue.
Yeah, it's as if Matt had read my mind, but yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can sort of add. One thing I will add is I watched all the How to Train the Dragons for the first time last year, and I don't know why I missed them when they first came out, but I think that they're great movies. But regardless, I'm going to go into a quick game that I thought of doing just literally right now.
Okay.
What we're talking
Guys,
about this?
real quick before that, guys. Chicken Run. Just gonna give you the baseline amazingness of this. Mel Gibson is a rooster who gets shot out of a cannon. Who the fuck doesn't want to see that? Apparently, a lot of people because it didn't do well at the box office, but you know, facts, I guess. Whatever. Who cares? Mel Gibson is a goddamn rooster.
But I'm bringing back the game that I believe Manning came up with sort of first. The Should It Have Won an Oscar game.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
I'm not gonna be. I thought you were bringing up that game that you normally play with the cards that we still don't understand how to play.
I mean, if I was planning on playing that game, then I would have explained it off screen. But I have done a stream which has actually worked the way it's supposed to. So, but
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
but yeah.
Stupid.
I think so.
But so and a lot of DreamWorks animations have been nominated, but there's only a handful ones have actually sort of won. And we start off with the first year, which was 2001, which is the first year of the animated feature race, which was won by Shrek, and the other nominees were Jimmy Neutron and Monsters, Inc. So, Abe, should Shrek have won the Oscar in 2001?
Wait! Before we start, I have to tell everyone. Tell everyone. David Geffen. That's the person who is the other one who started.
Yeah,
There
he's
you go.
famous for. Oh my God, Star Troop! Thank you. I'm so sorry. Before we start this game,
People didn't talk enough about Kung Fu Panda. I
No,
agree.
no.
Yeah, I agree.
No one brought up
look.
Megamind, which I think is really underrated, and also Sinbad is kind of cool artistically, and no one brought that up.
Air's
And
great.
Flushed Away has Hugh Jackman, which no one brought
I was
up.
gonna bring
Oh,
those up.
Flushed
baby.
Away. I forgot about
Boss
that.
Baby is quite possibly
Boss Baby fucking sucks.
the greatest animated film ever put to celluloid. I mean, it's just so great. I forgot it was
believe that
Dreamworks
movie was
because
not shot
it's
in
beyond a studio. It's beyond.
All right,
any actors.
Malcolm, please take this away before we go.
just
off the
like-
rails more.
Chef's
On that note, but yeah,
Did we
go
mute
to the
him?
sort of yep. But on that note, Abe, should Shrek have won the Oscar in 2001 with the other nominees being Monsters, Inc. and Jimmy Neutron?
You know, as much as I love Monsters, Inc., as much as I love that Jimmy Neutron movie, yes, I think Shrek is the best one. And you know, all those three movies are really amazing. It's really the best animated category of all time, that first one. I don't think there's any question. I think Shrek was the right answer, man. And it was well deserved.
Kristen, should Shrek have won against Monsters, Inc. and Jimmy Neutron?
Yeah, Monsters Inc.'s great, but I think Shrek did more to like further the animation industry than Monsters Inc. did. So I would say yes.
Manning, should Shrek have won against Jimmy Neutron and Monsters Inc.?
See, I think both are okay. First off, Abe, the best lineup of
You
of
know,
all
I,
the
I have to remember the other ones. I say a
We're gonna go through them, and I want to know if you still believe that as we go through the other ones, because Jimmy Neutron, like I watched that as a kid, and like
It's
I
not
knew that was not good.
Very good.
I know. I watched that, and I was like,
I liked the show, and the movie wasn't that good.
agreed.
I mean,
Shrek, by the way, Shrek.
yeah. I mean, insane that what other animation movie was out that year that could have been nominated as well? Because I think at Star Trek, I think it was a really light year for animation. I can't think of anything else that was around
Wasn't
that.
much.
Although I'm curious, since that was the first year, of animated films. Wait, what? Right, the animated Oscar. Well, let's think about it, guys, for a second. Like Dreamworks had what was 1998? Like
Spirited Away came out in 2001.
Yeah,
right?
but that one.
These are the movies that were out in 2000. It was the Oscars.
Oh,
for
yeah.
His Spirit was nominated, I believe, right?
No.
We'll get into that.
Because Shrek came out in 2001.
Yes.
And Spirited Away also came out in 2001.
Yeah,
so why?
Because it was the Japanese release.
I think it was a Japanese.
Oh well, who the fuck cares about that?
Christian doesn't care about that.
Atlantis came out in 2001 too.
I watched
as
the
well.
movie in the kindergarten.
Also,
But anyway,
Osmosis Jones. So I'm just.
Which is fantastic.
But anyway, let's check in with Matt, see if he's finished ranting.
yeah.
And I mean, seriously, it's just like you guys have just let me go for this long talking about this incredible movie. It's the greatest explanation of this film I'll ever give. I'm so happy for. Was my mic muted?
No.
Okay, thank God. What were we talking about? I'm sorry. I got totally lost on the amazingness of Boss Baby.
Should Shrek have won the Oscar against Monsters Inc. and Jimmy Neutron?
Definitely should have beat Jimmy Neutron, and I quite like that movie. I mean, the show is like 1,000 times better than the movie, but if you didn't have the movie, you wouldn't get the show. That sort of Osmosis Jones, you could say. Yeah. I mean, I think I might like Monsters Inc. more, but for what the Oscars is supposed to be, which is a reflection of your film and how film has sort of been pushed forward, I think Shrek was the more worthy because Monsters Inc. was an amazing Pixar movie. But it didn't really break the mold. It didn't do anything better than, say, what Toy Story 2 had done or something like that, where Shrek was kind of a mold breaker for animated movies. It was kind of the first, because you had adult animated films like South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut had come out, but it was kind of the first for like families to where it was still grown up. And yeah, I think it was definitely worthy of winning the Oscar. Sinbad's amazing though, and we didn't talk about that. Brad Pitt, honestly though, when did that movie come out? Like 2000. He was probably the best person to play Sinbad at that time.
Isn't that a lion?
What?
Yes,
Sinbad. Sinbad, like bad guy, but he's not.
Not Simba.
No,
Sinbad.
But yeah, I mean the longest running theory for the animated award at the Oscars is that chicken one was the reason that they decided to put it into the Oscars.
And you know why? Because Mel Gibson was a rooster. The Academy looked and they were like, we should get this a fucking award, but we don't got one.
But anyway, yeah, I kind of agree with what everyone else is saying. I think sort of Shrek was deserving of the Oscar this year. I mean, I don't think it's the better one in the Shrek. Better movie in the Shrek franchise, but once again we'll sort of get to that later on. But then the next year we had Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron up against Treasure Planet, Lilo and Stitch, Ice Age, and it lost to Spirited Away. And I'm going to go reverse order. Matt, should Spirit have won this year?
Was that the one with the horse?
That's the one with Matt Damon playing a horse.
God, wait, legitimately, he plays a horse.
He's the narrator. He doesn't actually. The horse doesn't
I
talk.
remember. Okay,
He is the person like thinking inside the horse's.
I remember the trailers for this
He doesn't
movie,
talk a lot.
and just like be like, I do not want to see that film, and I've never seen it.
It's actually
Treasure Planet.
Cara made me watch it the other day. It's not horrible.
Cara made you. She's not even 2.
She
What,
said
what,
nay,
told you at
nay,
gunpoint
nay,
and was
and
like,
walked
"You
to
better
the
show
screen
this."
and pointed
What's
at the
up,
thing and
Cara?
said nay, 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 and I'm like, all right, we're gonna watch it.
Cool. And then you go, nay, nay. You go, nay, nay. We're gonna watch Mel Gibson as a rooster, Cara, and you put Chicken Run on.
She wanted
Or
to watch it.
Pocahontas. You could have an anime film with Mel Gibson with a gun as well, if you want that as well. Regardless, back to my point. Thanks for interrupting me. What was I saying? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I didn't see that movie. You want to see it? Treasure Planet, however, I've seen dozens of times. It's one of my favorite Disney animated films. I think it is a severely underrated movie, and it should have won that year.
Manning should Spirited the Stallion and the Cimarron. Should that have won over Spirited Away?
No. No. Spirited Away is one of the. While it's not my favorite Miyazaki film, it is one of the greatest animated films put to screen. There is this beautiful reverence for the animated medium, hand drawn specifically. And if you look at the behind the scenes of how they did that, it's just kind of like I am in awe of it. It's not my favorite again, but it's just the mastery is by far done. Yes, it is one that deserved it. Although Lilo and Stitch, man, I love Lilo and Stitch so much.
So good.
It is
So,
great.
so
It is
good.
great. I also love that whole time Megan's talking about Spirit Away. He's like, these are great things about Snow on my favorite. Still like, but these are amazing. Still, guys, stop thinking it's my favorite.
I did that twice. Only twice.
Um,
My favorite is still Nausicaa. Nausicaa is still my favorite.
You and John like Nausicaa, and
I've
it's
never
fine.
seen a single one of these films, so
I need to see it again. Castle in the Sky might actually be my favorite. And now that I
Castle
think
in the Sky is fine. I like Castle in the Sky.
Nausicaa, there's something about that and just how the lore and just kind of like the reverence.
Well,
It's
now
cool.
Lost.
It's
I don't
cool. Like
Guys,
the O
baby
have such a cool
has-
design.
Alec
So
Baldwin in a suit.
Yeah, Garth.
Are
Yeah,
so
you're right.
frozen.
I'm gonna like them all.
But and I Stardew Ice Age was nominated this year. And this year, and Lilo and Stitch was nominated this year as well. Even though Lilo and Stitch did come out in 2002, this was a really weird seeing some movies that sort of was released in the same year that they were announced. But
I just imagine them like, and the nominations, Lilo and Stitch are like, didn't they come out in 2002? Like, shut the fuck up.
But yeah, Kristen, should Spirit the Stallion of Cimarron win over Spirited Away, or what would you have picked to win this year?
No, Spirit, like, it's kind of a cool movie because the horse, like, they found a way to make it animated and have expression without making it not look like a horse. Like, they did a really good job, like, making it really expressive, but also keeping it, like, within what a horse would do naturally. But no way, it shouldn't have won. And no other movie should have won. Spirited Away, like, is not my favorite Miyazaki film, like, for personal watch, but in terms of film, it is. Like, it is, like, one of my favorite films, not even, like, take the animated off. It's a gorgeous film, and it means a lot. Like, the story of it has so much to say about, like, the world and, you know, how we treat ourselves and how we treat people around us and, like, nature. Like, Miyazaki's all into how we treat nature and how we treat people in nature, right? But yeah, Spirited Away is one of my favorite films of all time. So yes, it absolutely should have won.
Yeah. And Abe should Spirit have Spirit the Stallion and Cimarron win over Spirited Away?
Poor Malcolm.
No, that movie is kind of boring. And Spirited Away, I have to say, is my favorite Miyazaki movie. You know, because Spirited Away is my favorite Miyazaki movie. Just want to say that.
It is your favorite.
Is
Okay.
it your favorite though?
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
You can have multiple favorites. You know. You can
Yeah,
have multiple
but it's my
favorites.
favorite. I just-
Now you got
I-
pick favorites.
I only said it 2 times. I
Twitter
only
told
said
me
it-
that.
But yeah, I've only seen 6 Studio Ghibli movies. Full stop. Spirited Away is one I have seen, and I agree with it winning this year. Because I mean, as much as I like Lead on Stitch and Ice Age, I don't think either of them should have won over Spirited Away either. I don't know if this is Miyazaki or just Ghibli, but my favorite is the Studio Ghibli studio. Full stop is Princess Mononoke. That's just a beautiful movie.
it's so
altogether.
good.
Now this is gonna be really weird. Now this is a weird tangent, but I only think it's just fine. Mononoke. That's really strange. I find that really
I just think
fascinating.
Nausicaa's just fine. See, John.
Exactly.
John loves
That's so
it's his
weird.
favorite. Nausicaa's his favorite.
Can I ask a question?
And Mononoke he thinks is just fine. So it's something to do with like the story appeal of it.
It has to
I think,
be.
like people who like Nausicaa can only think that Mononoke is okay.
It's okay, guys.
Like it's just fine.
Ironically, out of the 6 I've seen, Nausicaa's my least favorite at the moment.
Go over there, okay?
But I mean, it's I don't. Was he like Kristen? I don't think it's bad. I think it's
No,
just fun.
No. Yeah.
I like a lot of Nausicaa. I just think that there's part of the story to me that just like feels like it needs like less, like it draws itself out a little too much, I think, at times.
I just
Yeah.
have to say, you guys keep saying Nausicaa, and for every reason, I just keep thinking Nosferatu, which makes me just want to watch Nosferatu.
All right.
That guy that
Doesn't
thinks
connect
he
at all,
sometimes.
but
You know,
you guys are
Rasika?
just saying random words.
Yeah.
Rassica, you're thinking of Rassica?
Yeah. I
Rossica of the Valley of the Wind.
You should do another English dub of
I
that
want
film.
to see that.
We need a Photoshop. Rassica, make a Photoshop.
I was about to say, Photoshop.
You're asking me,
Um,
you're quarantined. You don't know better, do you?
But I mean, for those out there who've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie at all, depending on where you live, I think in the States it's on HBO Max.
I don't have
it-
it.
In
in
Mexico,
other
it's
part- in
they
other
are
part
on
of the
Netflix.
Yeah, it's Netflix for me as well. I think they're all just finally all made it on. They're just slowly rolling them out. But yeah, it brings us to the next year, which is a very interesting one because we got a double DreamWorks nomination. But in 2004, The Incredibles won animated, and Shark Tale and Shrek 2 were both the other 2 nominations. So
What the fuck were they smoking?
so I'm going to go to Abe. Which of the, should The Incredibles have won, and which of the 2 DreamWorks should have won in its place if you don't think that?
Okay. I think Incredibles winning is right at the moment, at that exact moment of time. However, as I grew older, I like Shrek 2 better than Incredibles. I know it's a quality thing, it's a thing about me. Because I laugh way too hard at those jokes at Shrek. But yeah, I think The Incredibles should have won. That's a better movie. Like, I can recognize that that's a better... It doesn't have a better climax, though. It does not. But it's a better
I can agree. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Kristen, should The Incredibles have won, and or which of the DreamWorks should have won instead if you think otherwise?
Yeah, I'm just not that huge of a fan of any of the Shrek movies. So
Oh my god! it
like
makes so
they're
much
the
sense now.
second one is the best of them all, but I like the older I got, the less I vibed with Shrek. So
I know. I don't like you that much.
yeah, like I tried to watch the past 2 and I didn't finish any of them.
They're bad.
Yeah, they're just not good.
What
Yeah,
anime
so
does to you, kid?
The Incredibles I think
Take
definitely
you
should have won. It's such a good movie. It's so good.
And Manning, it sounds like you're going to have a hard decision, but should the Incredibles have one and or which of the DreamWorks
Is that
driven?
11?
I'm going to agree with Abe. He said it right. Like, I appreciate The Incredibles. It's much more. It has a lot more meat on it as a film. There's a lot more to say. Shrek 2 is just so much fun. I'm wearing ladies' underwear. That entire thing gets me to This One Day with Pinocchio. I don't know why that one scene does. How do you? How do you? And that movie has so many fantastic quotable lines. It is one of the funniest animated DreamWorks films they've come out with, in my opinion. But The Incredibles, man, that movie got dark for a kids movie in some aspects, and it really kind of showed. I mean, this would happen before in the medium, but it pushed the medium and what you could tell for a more mature story that was still aimed at kids. So Pixar, props to you. You deserve that one full-heartedly. Wait, didn't we skip one?
We're just going where DreamWorks was nominated.
Oh, just DreamWorks. I was about to say, wait, we're skipping years. What is this?
Yeah. I'm only focusing on the DreamWorks ones. But yeah. But Matt, should The Incredibles have won, and which of the DreamWorks movies should have won instead?
I think, as I said, Shrek 2 is a fantastic movie. It's super funny when they're watching Knights on TV and it's just cops. It's incredible. It's great. There's high speed chase. I just love that. When Prince Charming first comes in, it's the wolf. Where is she? She's on her honeymoon. But The Incredibles should have won that year. Not only the fact that it was the first animated movie in 3D that had humans that they were stylized, but they looked
Really
like
good.
people. Like, you look at Toy Story and like the humans look really, really weird.
so
Even Toy Story
janky,
2.
man.
So
Even
they
Toy
look
Story-
so scary.
I'm being kind to the first 3D animated film, okay? But by the time they got to which again, you don't get Incredibles if you don't get the weird and
100%.
But regardless, The Incredibles is you guys said it's an adult film. It's so good. It's funny. The characters are all great. And that's scored by Michael Giacchino. I will still. It's been how many years since that movie came out? I still cannot get the music from when Mr. Incredible is looking at his wall of all the past things from the glory days, and that
Great
theme that Giacchino did. Like, it's my favorite out of the entire score. It's a brilliant movie.
Also, let's see.
Yeah. So I think out of these three, I think Shark Tale should have won.
Obviously. Well,
Hey,
Will Smith.
I
Will
can't
Smith
tell
Shark.
if you're being
Will
serious.
Smith.
I like all three of these movies, but I like Shark Tale slightly more than Shrek 2, and I like both of the DreamWorks movies slightly better than The Incredibles. The Incredibles.
I think he's done.
I mean, for the record, The Incredibles is my favorite Pixar.
Oh, he's alive. He's alive. He's trying to.
Guys, hey, can you guys stop? No, this is the problem with the internet. Malcolm's sharing his true opinion, and because you guys don't agree with it, you're laughing at him. You guys are just jerks.
I'm not laughing.
Sorry,
I'm
Kristen.
shocked.
I'm so sorry. Why don't you go back to talk about how much you love Spirit Away? Me and Malcolm will start laughing at you. Hi, nice Spirit Away. Let him love Will Smith fish, okay? Let him make love to Angelina Jolie fish. Robert De Niro plays a goddamn shark mobster, and Martin Scorsese is a blowfish. You know why? Because Scorsese, he blows.
Kristen has a baby. You don't have.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one thing I didn't mention when I was talking about my DreamWorks movies is Eddie Murphy's Donkey is probably his greatest animated voice while he's done.
Can I comment?
Well, there's Mushu, and then what else is there?
Donkey.
No, can I comment on that?
Donkey.
You know, everybody talks about Shrek being that funny, and I said it on another show, which I think was Gone with the Wind. The Shrek in Spanish, like, it's way funnier. It's really way funnier.
Okay.
Like, I can truly say it, because the actor that does Donkey, which is Eugenio Derbez. He truly grabs the character and Mexicanizes or
Okay,
Latino Americanizes.
true, but does he
Good.
deliver like Shrek? I'm looking down, Shrek. As funny as Eddie
Yes.
Murphy.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know.
delivers better than Eddie Murphy, and I'll say it again many times. So sorry.
Yeah, but he probably got paid a lot less.
Of course
But
he did.
but anyway, we go on to the next year in which Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Rare Rabbit won. It defeated Hell's Moving Castle and Corpse Bride. And I'm going to start with Matt. Should Wallace and Gromit have won over Corpse Bride or Hell's Moving Castle?
Oh, I've never seen Howl's Moving Castle, but Corpse Bride is really, really good. And it might be my favorite Tim Burton stop motion animated film that he's worked on. God, that's really tough because they're both really great. Wallace and Gromit definitely. Yeah, that's really tough to say because they're both good for completely different reasons. Wallace and Gromit, as we talked about, is a great, fun adventure movie for kids with a bit of a mystery tossed in, which I'm glad we didn't spoil for people who've never seen Wallace and Gromit. And then Corpse Bride is great and has a completely different sense of humor about it. Yeah, that's a really tough year. That's an insanely tough year. And sadly, that's going to be the last thing I could talk about. I actually have to head out.
Oh.
Before you go, where can people find you online?
Now, you guys, as always, can find me at Currents_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovies611 on YouTube and WordPress, and right here as host of Second Look. I'm still working on the show. Apologize. Work has been kind of crazy. Working on the restaurant marketing industry, which is great because every week we don't know if a lot of our customers are going to be open or closed. So it's been a hell of a time. And when it comes to history, you guys know me. I'm always around. I'm always coming around on shows. I'm always coming on shows. I'm always, And by the way, when you guys get to Boss Baby, you all know. Should have won. What won that year? I don't even fucking care because you all know on here, Boss Baby should have won. And if you say anything, you're all just lying to yourselves. And I'll watch this on replay. Probably not, but I might.
Probably not.
Okay. No, well, I don't know. Kristen can't even look at me because she's so disgraced that she knows how much she loves Boss Baby, and she's just not gonna.
I think she's mad at you right now.
I'll just
with Master Smith.
Doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna go. Have fun, guys. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Touch yourself.
Yeah, fuck you too, Abe.
I will later.
But it's saying that this wasn't. Manning. Should Wallace and Gromit have won over Hell's Moving Castle and Corpse Bride?
I'll make this short and sweet. Wallace and Gromit. Corpse Bride is really good. Hell's Moving Castle is very weird, but also very good. And I really like Wallace and Gromit. So yes, it should have won.
Kristen, should Wallace and Gromit have won over Hell's Moving Castle and Corpse Bride?
Yeah, I mean, I like Howl's Moving Castle more than the average person does. But yeah, Wallace and Gromit is probably more deserving of it. Stop motion's always harder. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
So I like when they win awards.
Mm-hmm.
Abe, should Wallace and Gromit have won over?
The one of those Studio Ghibli that I haven't watched is Howl's Moving Castle. Even though everybody says it's great, or what I heard. Until now, I hear somebody that doesn't like it or doesn't enjoy it that much.
I like it. I don't love it. That's what.
Oh, no, yeah,
I think the going thing on Howl's Moving Castle is that it's like one of his weaker movies, but I actually enjoy it.
It's one of
Miyazaki and stuff like that, and they told me that's a great movie. So I think it's different. It's
definitely his. interesting. I'll say that it's different.
It's less weird than the book series is. He like de-weirded this book series.
Wow.
Is weird, man. It's like it's a weird book series.
I didn't.
It's-
Okay. I will start looking this up now. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
Wallace
babe.
and Gromit over whatever it was, which I remember seeing. But yeah, Wallace and Gromit. That movie is great. You don't expect what's happened. When I don't know what was it about when I watched a couple years ago for the first time, and I was like, this actually deserved, like, this was a great movie.
But yeah, I totally agree with Wallace and Gromit winning this this year. And although in saying that, I wouldn't have been upset if Corpse Solid won for the pretty much the same reason. It's stop motion and it was good, but I think Wallace and Gromit is the better one out of these three. This is a year that I was surprised to remember it was only 3 movies, because other movies was out that could have been nominated. Was Robots wasn't nominated. Madagascar was not nominated.
Oh.
Okay, that should have won.
yeah, that's weird.
And so, and I mean, those are the 2 notable ones I think were not from this nomination thing, because they weren't even nominated. Like they weren't even nominated next year. So, but yeah.
No, the thing is, I think they just recently, which recently is I think in the last 10 years, they added 2 more to the animated category. Before it was just 3, because now we're actually getting a ton of animated movies, like commercial. Before we just get like 3 or 4. Right now, every studio has their.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's like the second one that I read out was 5, and then they went back to 3.
Yeah.
So they must have the rules for like similar to Best Pictures, like it's up to 5, but it doesn't have to stick to 5. But yeah, but we're going to skip over a few years, because Over the Hedge, Flushed Away, Shrek the Third, and B Movie were all not nominated for their years.
Wow.
Are you trying to say that the internet's favorite meme is not nominated for an Academy Award?
Travesty.
Horrible.
Travesty.
What a weird movie.
But which
movie.
But which brings us to 2008, which Wall-E won animated movie that year. Also nominated was Bolt and Kung Fu Panda. Abe, should Wall-E have should Kung Fu Panda have won over Wall-E?
The first Kung Fu Panda movie is a great movie. The first third of Wall-E, it's a great movie. And I love Wall-E a ton. So it's hard. Yeah, I think Wall-E edges us for a little bit. Just a little bit like that. See?
But what about Bolt, Abe?
Oh, that movie.
Oh, it doesn't suck.
It's fine.
It's not
kinda
great.
Weird. It's
Or
kinda
good.
weird.
It's very weird.
But
Mine is
Kristen, should Kung Fu Panda have won over Wall-E?
I mean, probably not. I really like Kung Fu Panda, but Wall-E, I think it's more of an Oscar movie. So, like, if we're talking about like what should have won the Oscar, like Wall-E is more of an Oscar movie. So, like, you look at who's voting for the Oscars. Yeah, I think Wall-E should have won the Oscar. You know, like if we're going to popularity contest, Jack Black as a panda probably should win.
Yeah. And Stardrew, I'm just talking about the years that DreamWorks animation was nominated. So I'm not going through all the animated categories.
I asked the same question. I feel you.
But Manning, should Kung Fu Panda have won over Wall-E?
You asked me the year it comes out, that year of 2018, Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda all the way. I was obsessed with Kung Fu Panda. I look back now, like I think it was the point to where I didn't care about watching Wall-E at all. I just wanted to watch Kung Fu Panda. And now that I'm older, I was like, man, you uncultured citizen. What is this? Wall-E, it does seem a little weird when you actually get to the people, but Wall-E and Eve, that entire first little third is just beautiful, gorgeous. and it made me love Hello Dolly even more. So Wally.
Also, Master Deacons, right? He was a consultant.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
On
He was.
Wally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not. I would not be shocked. Actually, it's gorgeous. I know Ben Burt was the sound guy, which, well, good old Ben. Star Wars stuff. Yeah.
I was like,
He did the Star Wars sound effects, guys. I watched that. Okay, now I watched the
He did all
Wally
the pew-pews.
Exactly. I watched the
Yeah.
special effects where he did all the sound effects, and I was a kid. I was like,
I just don't know the name.
He just
Sorry.
he sat around going like pew pew pew.
But yeah, I mean, I've said before that I believe it was Gone with the Wind at one stage that we were talking about Pixar that I'm not a fan of Wally. And
it's okay.
but so I mean, I will say Kung Fu Panda should have won over Wally, but I'm just glad it wasn't Bolt that one because that shouldn't have won at all. But then we skip past 2009 and go to 2010, and Manning knows what is coming for this year. Toy Story 3 won over How to Train Your Dragon and something called The Illusionist. Manning, I'm going to go to you first. So How to Train the Dragon won over Toy Story 3.
Tangled was robbed of a nomination. Tangled was utterly robbed. I haven't seen The Illusionist, so I can't really actually comment upon that. But Tangled, that 2010 has literally my 3 favorite animated films of the decade.
What?
Like, and
What is that? Oh, sorry, Manny. It's
it's an otter. That's an otter.
It's an otter. Sorry.
Okay.
Why do do you understand? Underneath my computer desk is just Kara toys. Like my entire desk is just like surrounded by small child toys. Like, look, here's
accurate.
a ball. Look, here's a weird owl. Like my entire life is just toys.
Why do you have that Trolls thing?
That is a good question.
Like, I know why she has all those toys. I know why Kristen does. Why do you have that?
It's a popcorn. For popcorn. I collect.
Wait,
Look, here's Mike Wazowski.
where do you get those things? That's cool.
At the cinema in Mexico.
Man.
But
Yeah. I gotta decide. Okay. No. This is really hard because this is literally my 1 and 2 film. And like last week, when we talked about favorite anime films of the decade, Toy Story 3 was my favorite. But then How to Train Your Dragon was right there. But I'm gonna switch it up. How to Train Your Dragon? Just why not? So because let's be crazy, guys. Even though I'm gonna be on my island by myself.
Kristen, should How to Train Your Dragon have won over Toy Story 3?
Fuck yeah.
Whoa, wait, what? Really?
Like, I like Toy Story 3. I prefer the second one over the third. I think the third was, like, it was really great and it makes people cry, but it kind of, like, relied on that too much for me.
Nostalgia?
Like, it's been a while, but when I watched it the first time, I was like, oh, this is really, like, sad. And then when I watched it the second time, like, without it being, like, a real big surprise what was going to happen, and you kind of take away that emotional aspect of the movie, it's still a good movie, but it's not as grasping when you take away kind of that emotional part of the film. But How to Train Your Dragon, I can watch that a million times and still get really emotional, like when him and his dad have that moment at the end, and like it still hits me like every single time. Like it does not get like it does not change. It's so good.
And Abe, should How to Train Your Dragon have won over Toy Story 3?
I'm gonna disagree right here with my fellow panelists and tiger. I think it's a kangaroo, an elephant, and an animal. I don't know how it's called in English. And something that's in the bottom of Kristen's screen. No, that's a kangaroo, right?
This is a dog, a
that's
super dog.
Oh, just big.
And what's the thing at the bottom of the elephant?
An owl, a creepy owl.
I don't know.
Oh, it's insides. You can see.
Yeah, it makes noises. It's haunted.
I'm gonna disagree with my fellow panelists. I think Toy Story 3 is amazing. I think that movie also. I think I rewatched it before Toy Story 4 came out, and it still grabbed me. It still hit me hard. I know there's new things. I think it's really funny. It's not the funniest of the Toy Story. Well, I don't know, maybe. I think 4 is the funniest. It's not the better one, but I think it's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I have to say Toy Story 3. I would have
But yeah, I also think How to Train Your Dragon should have won over Toy Story 3. Just having just seen it last year, it's a great movie. And I'm on record for saying I like Toy Story 4 more than 3. But yeah. Also not nominated this year, along with Tangled. Megamind was also not nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would have been a close second for me.
it's really good, but I wouldn't have put it above. Yeah, I wouldn't have put it above.
It's a great movie.
But yeah, the next year we've got another double DreamWorks nominated year. Rango won animated movie. It was nominated against A Cat in Paris, Chico and Rita, Kung Fu Panda 2, and Puss in Boots. Is Rango deserving of a win, or should Puss in Boots or Kung Fu Panda 2 have won over it? Abe, I'll go to you first.
I will have to disagree with the winning right here. I think Rango is a really good movie. It's kind of weird for me. I don't know. There's something off about that movie, and I love the first.
Is it Johnny Depp?
Maybe. I actually watched that one in English. Kung Fu Panda 2. That was the first one I watched it, and I just remember being blown away by that movie. I literally blown away. Like, was what 2011? I was just amazed about the visual. It was so visually stunning. You know that red palette? Yeah, it's red they use at the end. I thought it was amazing, like just seeing it on the screen.
Yeah.
And I was having a ton of fun. Yeah, but I have to say Kung Fu Panda 2 should have won that.
Kristen, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I think Kung Fu Panda 2 is just really, I don't think people talk about the Kung Fu Panda series enough. Like, I think kids like it, but I just think that people don't take it seriously enough because maybe Jack Black as a panda just isn't serious. But it's actually a really touching movie, so I would say it probably should have won. Because Rango, I think no one remembers that it's even a movie now. You talk about Kung Fu Panda, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is," and you talk about Rango, and they're like, "What's that?"
And Manning,
I'm also gonna have to agree. Rango is a very strange choice in retrospect. I remember seeing it and being like, "Oh, that was fun. That was funny. I liked it." Bill Nye is a giant snake. I can get behind that. But yeah, Kung Fu Panda 2. Man, that's I like 1, 2. Something about sequels that just kind of go a little bit darker and have a little bit more mature themes. And it's just something that I can rewatch a lot. Plus, bringing Gary Oldman. I forgot the name of the peacock character. I don't know it as much as the How to Train Your Dragon.
Wasn't Gary Oldman the
peacock?
I thought he was the tiger, but I don't know.
No, was
Angelina Jolie.
He means the villain.
Oh, the third one.
Oh, that's
Idris Elba.
McShane.
Oh
Ian
yeah,
McShane.
McShane. Why did I think it's Idris Elba?
Idris Elba.
I'm like, that would be a good choice for that character, though.
I would like to see him come together.
Is it Idris Elba or with an E or an A?
It's that's literally the only thing on my mind is how many of those posts I have approved to the Schmodown page in the last 2 weeks per week. It's really bad. Stop talking about it, guys. It's old.
But yeah, I also agree. I think Kung Fu Panda 2 should have run over Rango. I mean, I've never seen Rango, but I've seen the trailers. I don't really want to see this movie. It looks really boring.
And also, I have to say, if you use pure animation like this style, I think Rango is not interesting at all. I know it's a desert, but I think you can do interesting things with the desert. Even in animated, I mean, it's Sony Pictures Animation. I think it's one of their first movies, full on. like they fully produce, and I just think like visually it's not like that rich as Kung Fu Panda.
It's very desaturated
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it just doesn't.
I mean, I think stylistically, because they were going for a Western, the desaturation, like the color choices were fine. Like I think that they made those choices to be stylistically within their genre, but at the same time, like because they tried really hard to push it in that angle, like it lost some of the charm and appeal that animated movies can have.
But yeah, I mean that was a year that was like interesting. But anyway, we're going to let go of 2012 because apparently the Academy did not like Rise of the Guardians. But which is a transition to 2013 in which Frozen won. But also nominated we had The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Ernest and Celestine, and The Wind Rises.
Celestine. I have that moment of the Oscars when they say that name so present in my mind. I don't know why. But you know it's Celestine.
We need a show of Abe corrects some pronunciations. The first episode is Maritza Aparicio. I know,
don't even.
But Manning, but anyway, Manning, should the Croods have won over Frozen?
Yalitza Aparicio. Did I get it right, Abe?
You know that accent still bothers.
Would you like me to fake an accent? Because no. Okay.
You already called me Speedy Gonzalez once. You can
Anyway, Frozen is a cultural. Say what you will about it. That was a cultural
phenomenon.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. It was a phenomenon from what it was. I personally love The Wind Rises. My family hates it, but I really love The Wind Rises. And being it was the swan song of Hayao Miyazaki, it was not. I thought it was a beautiful ending to that chapter, so I would have gone with that. The Croods is really fun. Despicable Me 2. But yeah, I'm okay with Frozen winning, but I'm not strong on anything else, so sure, I can take it, but let's throw The Wind Rises if I had a choice.
Kristen, should the Croods have won over Frozen?
No. No, I think I didn't like The Croods. I didn't really like it at all. I think I watched part of it and then turned it off. Yeah, Frozen, I think just does a better job of kind of breaking down the tropes of what Disney princess movies are. You say what you will about the music. I really enjoy it still, even though I've heard those songs too many times. And the animation is gorgeous. But yeah, The Wind Rises is a really, really good movie. But I think Frozen probably still deserves the win there.
And Abe, what about you?
Malcolm, it's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. And the first that once control me can get to me at all. Oh, it's time to see what I can do to test that limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. I haven't watched the Croods. So.
Just let it go, Abe. Yeah, just let it go.
Can't hold it back
anymore. I have to say about Frozen, that's the only song I know without listening to the music. I can tell you Let It Go without listening to the music. I don't even know the national anthem of the United States or Mexico, on full. And I know Let It Go. So that's something about the movie. I haven't watched it, so I cannot call it.
But yeah, as Dadu says in the comments, Croods is not that terrible.
I can agree. It's not terrible.
I don't know. I just it did nothing for me. That's
Maya Rudolph, I think, makes the voice, right? Or it's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Croods, but no, I shouldn't have won over Frozen. Frozen is the better movie. and I haven't seen the other ones. I mean, Despicable Me 2 will probably be my close second for this. I think, if anything, if that had run over Frozen, I wouldn't be upset about it. But Frozen is great. Now we go into the next year, which is 2014. Another year of Manning is going to be hurt. Big Hero 6 won over The Box Trolls, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Song of the Sea, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Manning, what do you say about that?
It's actually not that hard. It's How to Train Your Dragon 2. Actually, it's the Lego movie.
Everything is awesome.
But it wasn't nominated. So How to Train Your Dragon 2. I've never been the biggest fan of Big Hero 6. Not like I don't hate it. I was not enthralled by it. But anyway, I kind of I saw it. And I'm like, I knew the plot like 10 minutes in. I knew what was gonna happen. And outside of Baymax, I just didn't connect personally with it as much as I did How to Train Your Dragon 2. And this is before I became a big fan of the trilogy. I became a big fan of the trilogy till like a year ago. So that says something about the staying power, at least for me. But what do I know? I'm just a guy sitting on a screen, other side of your screen.
But just to backtrack a little bit, Stardrew brings up one movie I am glad wasn't nominated last in 2013 was Turbo. That was not a good movie. I'm pretty sure it's Ryan Reynolds as a snail, but which you could sum up a lot of Dreamworks movies. Apparently, X actor is a animal.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's accurate.
But Kristen, should How to Train Your Dragon 2 have won over Big Hero 6?
I really like Big Hero 6. This one's actually really hard because Big Hero 6 I really enjoy, and I also really enjoy How to Train Your Dragon 2. So I don't know, honestly. Like I see merit in both of them winning, so that's kind of difficult.
But yeah, going through this, the Academy really does not like the Madagascar movies because none of them ever got nominated because this is the last Peoples of Madagascar was this year.
They don't like to move it.
No, but Abe, should How to Train Your Dragon 2 have won over Big Hero 6?
Yes. I rewatched Big Hero 6, I don't know, a couple months ago. It was on TV, and I was watching it with, I think, one of my nephews. And it was like, this is not as good as I remember.
But Baymax is so, like, puffy.
He is. He's the best part.
He's so puffy and
that bill. I don't think the bill is that good. I don't find it as engaging. Also, as Manning said, like that plot is so reused right now by Disney. Like, so it just lacks something special. It could have been something great. It could have been. But
Stop making me dislike it.
It's a good movie. It's just
Stop. Baymax is so puffy and
I have to say, How to Train Your Dragon is not. I think it lacks. It went down from the first one, but I still think it's better than Big Hero 6. And the other ones, Princess Kaguya, I think I fall asleep trying to watch.
I just saw Big Hero 6 for the first time this year. It's a good movie, but I think How to Train Your Dragon 2 should have won. If the Lego Movie was nominated, there would be a different story that should have won full stop. But yeah. I mean, even though there isn't really a DreamWorks movie in this next year, I'm going to bring it up because it brought up there was an interesting point because Shaun the Sheep movie is considered a spin-off from Wallace and Gromit, but yet it's not DreamWorks. But yet it's made in the same studio, so that I always find that really interesting. But Inside Out won that year. Also nominated was Shaun the Sheep. When Marnie was there, Boy in the World, Anomalisa. But Manning, should Shaun the Sheep have won over Inside Out?
No.
You say it.
What? What?
Say no. You say no.
I said no.
He-
I did
he
say
did.
no. I
did
did.
say
What do you want me
no.
to say? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Kristen said it. Said. Just
Outside,
say it
inside, in comparison to Inside Out. No, Shaun the Sheep. Shaun the Sheep does not deserve it.
Kristen, should Shaun the Sheep have won over Inside Out?
No.
Hey, should Shaun the Sheep have won over Inside Out? I'm terrified now.
No. No.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
no.
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 I for a second I thought you were giving Manning shit because you were going to go the opposite of what he was going to say.
No,
It's
I
like-
was gonna say. You know, I always thought that movie was called Shaun of the Sheep.
Shaun of the Sheep, like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I always thought it
Shaun
was
the Sheep. I watched that.
I mean, one movie that was missing in this year that should have been up here was the Peanuts movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's such a good movie.
Animation's really good in that movie.
I mean, this is probably a weird year for animation for the animated category because I mean, like with like Inside Out being the sort of strong favorite because it's this like major studio. Then you got Shaun the Sheep, and then like three foreign. I think they're foreign animated movies. But yeah, does bring us to the next year, which I think it's the year that Matt's probably going to be glad he's not here for. Because Kung Fu Panda 3 wasn't nominated, neither was Trolls. So it is going to be the year Boss Baby lost to Coco. Also nominated was The Breadwinner, Ferdinand, and Loving Vincent. Should the Boss Baby have run over Coco, Abe?
Have you seen my skin color and my accent? Remember me.
Kristen, should the Boss Baby have run over Coco?
Oh yeah, for sure. Best movie of all time. Should have won Best Picture. Radical. Best. Yeah. No, it's.
Are
Awful.
you trying to do a New York accent to make?
I
fun of
don't
my-
know. I don't know what I was doing. I was just trying to be annoying, and it seemed to work just fine. No, Boss Baby's fine, but it's not. I don't enjoy it very much at all.
You're not able to see the layers that it has.
It's like an onion. No,
Exactly.
Coco is so good. And Cara and I have been vibing with the Coco soundtrack like hardcore the last couple weeks because it'll come on. We have a Disney mix and it comes on and like she just like will sit in her chair and she'll just go. So Coco's great.
Bring her to Mexico.
Okay.
After, not right now, Abe. So
Yeah, not right now, but sure. Eventually.
Manning, should the Boss Baby have run over Coco?
This is where I let everyone know my dark secret. I've never seen
watched
The
Coco.
Boss Baby.
That's
I've never seen it. I know, but I run a podcast about the Oscars, and this was nominated. So whoops. I will say, if you haven't seen The Breadwinner, though, go watch The Breadwinner on Netflix. That is
Loving Vincent is also really good.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
it is a
that was-
haunting
that was
movie.
good.
But Coco, yeah, no, it's Coco.
But the the Dreamworks movie that should have been nominated here is Captain Underpants, the first epic movie.
Yes, that was what that guy. That guy. Fucking that
This
fool.
was also
That
the
was
year
great.
of Lego Batman.
Mm.
Both
Yeah.
better movies than The Boss Baby. I'm sorry, but not so,
Yeah,
Matt.
so weird.
Captain
I mean-
Underpants is just incredible. That movie
I mean,
is
yeah. I'm on record for it not being a fan of Coco, but it is just it's finally sort of been released on Disney Plus over here. I know it's a lot earlier in the States, so for some reason, but so I'm probably going to rewatch Coco to see if I was missing something and see if it works better for me on a rewatch. I'm not going to say that it's not a worse movie than Boss Baby. I think it's still better than The Boss Baby, even though I'm not a big fan of Coco.
who loved Captain Underpants? Evan DeGraff, the guy that used to be here.
Oh yeah,
In
he
the
did.
stuff. Now
He
he's
loved-
left us for somebody else.
But that brings
Sad.
but that brings us to last year. Toy Story 4 won the Oscar last year. It was nominated against How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Klaus, and The Missing Link. Manning, should How to Train Your Dragon have won over Toy Story 4?
You know my answer if you've listened to any episode this past year. This is a weak year for animation. I'm not gonna lie. In comparison, I know it's The Hidden World should have won. Toy Story 4 is good, but I don't know. The Hidden World just, and I'm biased, obviously. But hey, Klaus, if not The Hidden World. So, but yeah.
Kristen, should How to Train the Dragon have won over Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm liking these. Yes.
Really, I love the third one. People like don't give the third one as much credit as it deserves. It's so good.
Abe, should How to Train the Dragon, The Hidden World have won over?
Manning so much pressure with this answer. I have to say yes.
What? 3 for what?
over 3-4 years.
Oh, that's
And I
great.
have to say why. Because 3-4, it just loses its charm. When you think about it, it's like this shouldn't happen. This is not right. Also,
We love you, Malcolm.
if I were to choose an animated movie of 2019, it would have been Weathering with You, which didn't come on until January, but it was eligible and stuff. Yeah, Weathering with You.
Yeah, I love Toy Story 4. You know that, but
Own it.
I still think How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World is better. So
Frozen 2 got honestly. It's so fucking good.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, if Frozen 2 was nominated, I probably my answer would have been different.
Frozen 2 is so good though.
It's
It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I really like it.
I want to get on board with you so much on that, but the part of my brain's like, no, Manning. Objectively speaking, it was not as good. But also me like, but the songs are so good.
Yeah, well, and you look at like the animation; it's some of the most beautiful
it's gorgeous.
animation ever put on screen. It's so good.
The entire segment, I'm gonna geek out for 1 second. The entire segment of Show Yourself up
Yes!
from the
Oh
water
my
horse
gosh.
to where she is. I'm just like, I'm looking at my sister like, and I'm just telling her, this is something special. Just
Yeah,
the
it's so
visuals.
good. And then there's the segment with Elsa's first song, whatever. I can't remember.
No.
Yeah. But like that whole like part where like she like walks out of the palace, but then all of a sudden it turns into like Fantasia. It's so cool.
Mickey
was
Mouse
so
showed
cool.
up.
Yeah, it's
Great.
But that's what it felt. It felt so much like they were doing like Fantasia in Frozen. It was such a cool sequence. But yeah, anyway, I think it got robbed. It should have at least got nominated.
Yeah, I mean, the other one that I'm surprised that was also not nominated because I've heard good things about was Abominable.
It was cute.
Not that. The ending was.
It's on streaming now.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people were surprised that Missing Link got as much love, but I think this is I don't know if this was one of the years which was really hard to predict what was going to win Best Anime because, like, it's just that every award show was different because it was the Annie Awards, there was Klaus, I know Frozen 2 got somewhere, Missing Link got the Globes.
And then Klaus also got BAFTA because, y'all know us. Wait, Dave, didn't she predict that as well, too?
I predict Toy Story 4.
Yeah, you're the one person who did that because me and Ryan went over to Klaus and we lost that. So good for you.
Because you're not as good as me.
No,
Well,
not.
that
you have the
year-
highest score. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
good job.
that year will never repeat itself. Right now it's
Ever.
just downward. 19, 17, 13, 10.
But
That baby's
but
crying.
but we did manage to drag it Dreamworks out to an hour and a half
Look at that.
easily. Luckily, I default of doing that game because who knows what we've been talking about instead.
God only knows.
But Manning, where can people find you online?
Oh, hey. Well, first off, you can find us here on Take 3 with Gone with the Wind, which will be coming out this is a Friday, right? This is Sunday. It'll come out Sunday. I can't think. And guess we have a special guest in Matt Kearns over here. So get ready for that. He'll be showing up. What are we going to be talking about? It's a surprise. Gonna have to wait and see. And of course, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Manning Franks. A new video that's coming Sunday. Finally, quarantine edition for y'all. And of course, Twitter, Cine_man. That's CINE_MANN.
Kristen, where can people find you online?
Nowhere. This is why. Yep. Twitter, Instagram, Stardust. Even though I don't post anything on Stardust, Smith_K10, the number, not the word. Maybe videos. Who knows? It's a weird time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe eventually we'll get a summit done.
Yeah, we'll see. I have a hard time right now with my schedule and doing anything during the weekdays, so we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, with only having one match to talk about, it's going to be hard. It's like,
I mean, there's enough controversy to go around, but by the time Monday goes around, you're like, okay, I'm done with this controversy. Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
We're looking out for a new host. If you want to be the host, go ahead.
Where can people find you online?
You know, Malcolm, again, you're gone. Off on a different path than mine. I'm left behind, wondering if I should follow. Because you should follow me on Twitter at AbrahamF25.
That was smooth.
And on Instagram at AbrahamFlores25. And you cannot care about my life. Do not add me on Facebook. I don't care about your life. You shouldn't care about mine either. But I'm lost in the woods.
But yeah, you can find me on Take 3 Productions, hosting Late Night Take 3. Next week we're going to do talk about action movies, because why not? There really isn't a movie coming out that I can sort of tie into something. But I might try to get some guests for that. I know a couple of great action guys that might be willing to jump on. But you can also find me hosting Rankum every Saturday night. There will be an episode tomorrow because it's my birthday, because why not?
Hey!
But I mean,
yay!
I mean, in saying that, it's my birthday in the States. It's my birthday now, but over in New Zealand. But regardless, it's still going to be my birthday somewhere in the world. But
so, question: will it still be your birthday tomorrow when we record Gone with the Wind, or will you be in the next day? You'll be the next day, won't you?
I'll be in Sunday, but you guys will be still on my birthday.
We will still sing you happy birthday.
How old are you, Malcolm?
35.
35.
He is the father of us all.
But
the elder, Take 3.
But anyway, tomorrow's ranking is going to be top 12 Glee episodes with a special guest, Video Drew.
That was perfect timing too. You said that.
That was great.
Nice.
But yeah, you can also find me over Full Metal hosting Full Metal Random. Next week is going to be a Doctor Who match, just focusing on the New Who era. But yeah, until next time, have a great late night.
I'm lost in the woods.